voice of Jamaica.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica's poverty rate has dropped from 16.7% to 8.2%. As the government's economic program begins to pay off, our country is heading towards sustained growth. We are building Jamaica. The time by the office of the Prime Minister is
4 minutes after 9.
You're inside the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Good morning, good morning. You are here on Nationwide 90 FM. This is the Consumer Hour. Good morning to all of you. We are alive, and for that we give God thanks. Good morning to you if you're listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7 and 90.9 on your FM dial. Thank you for joining us on your radio. If you're listening and watching on our YouTube channel, good morning to you. The channel is Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. That's Nationwide 90 FM LIVE with the number 2 beside that. Saying good morning to Juliet Sanchez, who I am seeing first in the YouTube chat this morning. Also seeing David Nebar, good morning to you. Errol Townsend, top of the morning to you. Merlin Russell, good morning to you. David, I said David already. Nicola Pearson, good morning. KMC, Kamala B, good morning. Jaja, good morning to you. Karen Granville, Ines Campbell Murray, Miranda Johnson, good morning to all of you over there on YouTube. Cheryl Marsh says it's her birthday. Happy birthday to you, Cheryl Marsh, in the YouTube chat. I hope you have a great day. If you are listening from our mobile app, which is available for free on the Google Play and the Apple App Store, it's Revo News. Morning to you and those on our website, the Listen Now option there. Top of the morning to you as well. Inside the Consumer Hour this morning, we are going to continue with our coverage of the recovery efforts here in Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa, and of course, as much as possible, try to connect persons with their family members. A lot of people are trying to reach out to family, and because of the network issues that we obviously are having in the western end of the island, people are not able to get to their family members, and so we'll try to do as much of that as possible and bring you some coverage from some other parts of the island that were also ravaged during Hurricane Melissa. Some sections of Westmoreland, St. James, Trelawney and St. Anne, Manchester, as best as we can. We will be making contact today with a young man from Iron Shore in Montego Bay. Haven't heard much from that side of the island, so we'll try our best to make contact with Adrian this morning from Iron Shore in Montego Bay. Yesterday we'd made contact with Renardo from Westmoreland in Big Woods, Lennox Big Woods in Westmoreland, and he gave us his number. We were able to give out his number. He offered himself to assist to connect persons with their family members, and I will just give his number again for those who are joining today. You have family in Westmoreland, especially those close to or in Lennox Big Woods. That's where he is. His number is 213-8498. That's 876-213-8498. Renardo is in Lennox Big Woods in Westmoreland, and he was able to get in contact with us, so you can try to reach him and see if he can assist you with getting to your family. Once again, Renardo's number is 213-8498. 8498. On the line, we have Adrian, who is from Ironshore, Montego Bay. Good morning to you, Adrian.
Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners.
How are you, Adrian?
I'm in good health and strength, but the stress is on.
I can imagine. And are you and your family, do you have somewhere safe to stay? Is your house in order?
Houses are intact. Our properties are intact. The most significant damage we had was a part of a roof, but that's not the total roof of the house. So we are sheltered properly.
Okay. The other areas in Ironshore and areas close to Ironshore, what's the type of damage that you're seeing in those areas?
All right, what I can tell you is, based on what I've seen myself and also communication heard from other people. All right, as far as Rosal Great House, to Freeport and Westgate Hills, roofs are significantly damaged, poles and posts are down, trees in the road and that sort of thing. So those are the major things. But overall, that is really everywhere. Light poles down, trees in the road or trees falling, and partial roofs or some total roofs.
Anybody losing their entire house? Not seeing any of that?
I am not seeing any of that particularly, but I am sure that is the case in some areas, especially Catherine Hall and West Green.
Okay.
What happened is...
Go ahead.
What happened is that area was flooded. So I would say at least 5 or 6 feet of water. So you can imagine where they hold the annual reggaeton fest.
Yes.
Okay, so the water is at least 4.5 to 5 feet right there. So even Mega Mart in Catherine Hall, it was flooded.
Wow.
So that whole area, coming all the way back to the intersection of Fairfield, that is where and Barnett Estate, for instance. So that whole area was flooded.
So you're saying in Ironshore, the major damage at houses in Ironshore is mostly roof damage, but you're anticipating that there would be other major loss in Catherine Hall, West Green, and in Fairfield due to the flooding that took place in those areas.
That is correct. So, and Rose, not total roofs, some partial. That is the major. But the significant damage, interior damage,
another major issue, Adrian, and if you're just joining us, we're speaking with Adrian. Adrian is from Ironshore, Montego Bay, and we're trying our best to make contact with as many persons as we can on that side of the island. Adrian, another major issue for persons is family members trying to get to their loved ones because of the connectivity issues. You did say earlier that lines are down, poles are down, so there's no electricity, I assume, and so Flow and Digicel may not have service up in those areas. Is the road or are any of the roads to get to these communities blocked, or is there access from the other end of the island to get to Ironshore, Catherine Hall, West Green, Fairfield? Did we lose Adrian? Oh Lord, we lost Adrian. Hopefully we can reconnect with Adrian. And just before, if we are able to reconnect with Adrian, Michelle, just please ask him if he is making his number available for persons. We have him back? Hi.
I'm here.
Hi, Adrian.
I am here.
Right. So I'm not sure if you heard my question. Let me just quickly repeat. As it relates to road access, are persons able to get to these communities from the other end of the island in Ironshore? Are persons able to get to Catherine Hall, West Green, Fairfield?
Okay, yes, road access has significantly improved. I would like to commend the emergency responses like the NAA and so on. They really moved to clear and open access roads and stuff. So we can move across, but it's like a maze and a lot of traffic in some areas.
Okay, and I can understand because many persons are just rushing to get to their family members, and areas that are not fully cleared can cause traffic pileup. But Adrian, if you could say, based on your assessment, persons may be coming in to assist. What are the real immediate needs of the residents on that side of the island? Ironshore, Montego Bay, Catherine Hall, West Green, Fairfield, and surrounding areas.
All right. For me, is the most important things are survival. So there's no electricity, so we need some inverters, generators, solar batteries, panels. It is total darkness at night. Any light you see at night, the generators or backup systems. So energy is one. I don't know if we have a critical food shortage, but I can't speak for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think energy, lighting, those are the critical needs. There's not much you can do about fuel. The fuel is here, but the demand is so strong. It's almost a riot in some. The police are there. Has to be a strong police presence at all these gas stations.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend them as well.
So you're saying really right now, of course, if you're coming, bring food can never be refused. But there is a great need for sources of energy right now. When it comes to powering lights, powering phones, so that people can keep in contact. So inverters, power banks, solar lights, solar inverters, all of those. If you have access and can assist with some of those, of course, come on down, offer your car for a charge up for some persons, and that's really what people need right now.
I agree. And I would suggest, I think carpooling is very important. I have only too many people on the road.
Right.
Too many cars per car time, and it's really impractical to travel a normal life, like everything is. We need to just stay off the roads.
Mm-hmm.
But we get to go back in because we don't want it. We can't access fuel. Sitting in traffic for 4 hours, wasting the fuel.
Okay, we're kind of losing you now, so I'm gonna put you on to Michelle. Michelle, just please ask Adrian if we can take his number, so that if he allows that, then we can give it out. Thank you so much, Adrian. Please stay safe, and I pray for speedy recovery for all of you on that side of the island.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, that was Adrian. Adrian is from Ironshore in Montego Bay. Adrian is saying, thank God, no major damage in Ironshore, mostly roof damage, all of them gone, some partial roof damage. But he's saying that he knows that in Catherine Hall, in West Green, in Fairfield, there was major flooding. The Mega Mart in Catherine Hall, he said, was flooded out. And so those people will need assistance there. He is asking that if you are coming to that side of the island, please, as best as possible, carpool, because he's saying that there's a buildup of traffic and chaos in the area as the roads continue, as the emergency service, the NWA, and all the other persons who are assisting are clearing the roads. There are more vehicles coming in, and there is chaos and traffic in the communities. So if you can, Go with somebody, carpool. If you know of other people who want to get to family on that side of the island, come together. The amount of vehicles that are in the area, Adrian is saying, it's overwhelming. There's a need for heavy police presence in the area because of the chaos and the traffic. So if you are going, please carpool, Adrian is saying, because there's chaos in Ironshore in Montego Bay. So please, guys, they need right now in Ironshore and other parts of St. Catherine, other parts of Montego Bay, food, of course, is needed, but they're saying they need energy. So battery, inverters, solar powered lights, and all of that. That's what they need right now to keep their devices up, to be able to communicate, to be able to move around. So if you're going, while you bring tarpaulins and food and clothes and water, they need energy sources to keep their devices up. All right, so if you can bring some power banks and assist, that would be great. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, we will have Ruthlyn Johnson from JPS.
Decorate and redecorate your space with water-resistant, colorful, and fast-drying paints from Edgechem Paints. The time by Edgechem Paints, changing lives 1 gallon at a time, is
9:20.
Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
This is a public service announcement from JPS. The JPS Customer Care Center, which is technically supported in Western Jamaica, is unavailable due to infrastructural damage. This means customers will not be able to get through on the toll-free line. Customers can, however, make contact with the company via web chat on its website at jpsco.com, on its social media pages at MyJPS Online, and through the MyJPS mobile app. JPS thanks you for your patience and understanding at this time. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
Share in the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
Good morning. You are back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton, and we just spoke with Adrian from Ironshore in Montego Bay. No major damage, no loss of property, really, Adrian is saying, in Ironshore, Montego Bay, but there is flooding, he says, in Catherine Hall, West Green, Fairfield, and roof damage in Ironshore. Some persons with total roof damage, some with partial roof damage, and so they're working as best as they can to get that back up. But of course, there is no electricity because there are downed power lines and street and poles. So there's no electricity, of course. Difficult to get connection with our telecoms providers right now. Adrian is making his number available on a case-by-case basis. So if you have family in Ironshore, Freetown, and Catherine Hall, and you would like to get in contact with Adrian to see if he can get you in contact with your family, you can send us a message 280-6629. 280-6629. If you have family that you have not been able to reach in Catherine Hall, Freetown, and Ironshore, Montego Bay, then reach out to us via WhatsApp 280-6629, and then we can put you in contact with Adrian, who is in Ironshore at the moment. I saw someone earlier asking about the contact for Westmoreland. He's not in the entire parish. He's not able to go through the entire parish. He is in Lennox, Big Woods, and if the community that your family member is in is close to Lennox, then he may be able to assist you. His name is Renardo, and his number is 213-8498. And we want to say thank you so much to Renardo. We were only able to get him on WhatsApp. So, of course, the connection may be spotty. You may not be able to get him all the time. But if you can, just send him a message, and as soon as the connection comes up, he may be able to just respond to you or give you a call. If you're trying to call him and you're not getting through, then the connection may be down for a bit. So just send him a message, and hopefully when it comes back up, he'll be able to reconnect with you. All right. We are going to speak now with Ruthlyn Johnson from JPS, Customer Service Area Manager for the East. Good morning, Ruthlyn.
Hello, how are you?
I am honestly tired, but and all of this is a bit mentally draining, but I have to give thanks. I'm alive and well, and my family is okay. So I have to stay positive. How are you?
I'm the same as you. I'm super tired.
Yeah.
Because this is JPS, as you know what's our role in this, and so we've just been at it, and we've been at it from long before it happened, because we knew it was going to come, or you knew there's a possibility, so you started to prepare. So the incident command was stood up, and then we had all the plans that we were there working through, and then you went through the storm where we did everything we could to keep as many people as possible on the grid. And so, of course, this morning you'll find people will tell you that they never lost power at all.
Yeah.
And we kept it going, and now we're in restoration phase, and we're still at it. So, yeah, we're talking sleepless nights. I did probably about 24 hours, non-stop.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, thank you. First, before we go into anything, thank you to yourself and the team at JPS, who, are working as best as you can to get things done. Some people might be a little bit frustrated, especially those who are in Kingston, but the JPS team is working. Please understand that this is something we've never experienced before, and I don't think any amount of preparation could have put us in a place to respond any quicker to what happened here on Tuesday. So I guess we can just begin with, I don't know if you have the latest figures restoration.
I have the latest, but I'm tempted to go where you went a while ago.
Okay, go ahead.
Where you're saying that persons may be frustrated. And I want to go there, Nora, because I'm a little bit concerned at how persons can be. We have experienced something that we've never experienced before. In fact, there are people who are saying that this is one of the worst hurricanes that we've ever seen in the Atlantic hurricane season. It happened when the 28th into the 29th.
Yeah.
And there were people who I saw on the 29th who were ready to say, where is my light and why don't I have electricity? And you're wondering, like, where were you? Were you out of the country and just landed this morning? And so there's some persons who are making some comments that are so wrong. There are people screaming to say the things in my refrigerator are spoiling. But to be honest, we would have expected if you're going into a hurricane that probably you're going to end up with spoilage in your fridge, because who is going to guarantee that you're going to get back power the next morning? It's probably not going to happen. And so I'm asking persons to be kind to each other, to stop thinking only about themselves, to understand that restoration of electricity, for example, is a process. We can't just get up and turn everything back on, because there are poles on the ground, there are wires on the ground, trees have brought down lines, and if we don't do it in a structured way, you may end up getting back power and then you have a fire. So we're asking them to be patient, because some persons, Nora, are behaving as if nothing happened in Jamaica a few days ago.
And just as you mentioned that, I'm seeing a video sent to our news group in Old Harbour. I'm not sure if you are aware, or maybe you can legitimize this video, where power was restored in Old Harbour and a building caught fire.
I don't know of that. I'm hearing of that for the first time, but I do know that power was restored to Old Harbour last night.
Okay, well, we're seeing a video in our news group, a building in the town, I see they're saying close to Scotiabank, beside Scotiabank, caught fire. And as soon as I saw it, I thought about, what they may have been trying to do to restore power themselves, and possibly... if that may be a possibility as to why that happened, but you can note that one. I'm
writing it down. Yeah.
All right. We are up on another break, so we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we'll get the latest figures from you as it relates to where we are with restoration.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:30.
This is a public service announcement from JPS. The JPS Customer Care Center, which is technically supported in Western Jamaica, is unavailable due to infrastructural damage. This means customers will not be able to get through on the toll-free line. Customers can, however, make contact with the company via web chat on its website at jpsco.com, on its social media pages at MyJPS Online, and through the MyJPS mobile app. JPS thanks you for your patience and understanding at this time. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
Need reliable security for your business? Dual Protective Security is the perfect choice, providing round-the-clock security solutions and customer support. Our security experts will work with you to create customized solutions that fit your needs and budget. Contact us today and enjoy the peace of mind you deserve with their unbeatable security services. Dual Protective Security. Call 876-676-6987 or 876-415-4564.
Everybody needs a helping hand, somebody to understand. In the end, we're all human. For people living with HIV, no discrimination. Here to support them through. Respect you as usual. Got to protect them too. One of your friend or your family, somebody in your community. People living with HIV. Protect, accept, and respect people living with HIV. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
What's everyone talking about? It's Front Page in This Morning. Get the issue of the day this and every weekday morning at 7:20 a.m. on Front Page. This Morning. Morning radio the right way. Front Page is brought to you by ABC Electrical for a better choice in the electrical business.
This is a public service announcement from JN Group. The JN Group is advising that the following JN Bank branches will be opened today, Friday, October 31. Barbican, Duke Street, downtown Kingston, Halfway Tree Transport Center, Highgate, New Kingston, Spanish Town, Huey, JN Premier on Belmont Road, Knutsford Boulevard, New Kingston, Tivoli, Spanish Town Road, Sovereign on the Boulevard, Papine, Morant Bay, Port Antonio, and Mandeville. Service at locations may be limited based on the availability of staff. However, persons may continue to access cash and conduct transactions at most JN Bank and Multilink ATMs and use the JN Bank Live online banking platform, JN Fund Managers Online, and JN Money Online for transactions. The JN Group will shortly roll out its support program for members to aid in their recovery. Jamaica National wishes a speedy recovery for those affected by the hurricane. We will help you find a way. That was a public service announcement from JN Group. Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton, and we have on the phone lines with us Ruthlyn Johnson, Customer Service Area Manager for the East at JPS. And Ruthlyn has some numbers, restoration. Ruthlyn?
All right, so I know my customers love the numbers, but I'm going to give them cautiously.
Okay.
All right, so we started out at the end of the hurricane. We started out with about 77% of our customers off the grid, and that would have amounted to a little over 500,000. Between, yes, sometimes I need to remember my date. Between the 30th, the end of the 29th, and the 30th, we have brought back over 50,000 customers to the grid. So we have been working because we're basically in damage assessment mode, which means we have to go out there. We have to see what damage has been, has happened on our equipment. We're looking at the poles, we're looking at the lines, we're looking at the transformers, what is on the ground. You need to know what has happened in order to know what approach you're going to take to the restoration. So we're doing damage assessment basically all of yesterday. Now, in the process of doing damage assessment, you will also turn power on for those who might not have had any major issue on their line. So, for example, if you patrol a line and you see just a fuse that is opened, you can just close back that fuse and those persons will get back power. But if we need to get into replacing a transformer, replacing a pole, getting the wires back up off the ground, that is going to take a little more time. So that's one of the things that customers need to understand, that it's not that we are leaving you behind, but you may see the street behind you, has become powered and you're saying, but what about me? It's not that we've left it behind, it's just that maybe that piece of the street that is behind you does not have any issue on it, but maybe on your street, you might have damage on your wire, or maybe you are on a feeder that runs all the way down to 2 miles down the road, and further down the road from you, there is damage that you can't see. Right. So I hear people saying, but there's nothing wrong with my line, I'm fine. But the damage may be further down the road. So you have to take that into consideration. But so far, we put more than 50,000 customers on the grid. So we have 50,000 more added to those who did not lose power at all.
Right. So I know that there are some parishes that are totally without right now, and understandably so they will be for a little while based on the devastation that took place. So for areas that weren't as badly damaged, some areas in Kingston, St. Catherine, I know there was some significant
St. Thomas, St. Catherine,
St. Mary as well.
No, St. Mary is not on our minor damage.
Okay. Okay. I know there was significant outage in Portmore when Minister Vaz spoke at the press briefing yesterday. Any restoration efforts underway there right now?
Parts of Portmore have been restored.
Okay.
I just heard somebody this morning walking in from Portmore who said, I got back light last night. So parts of Portmore have been restored, but there's still more work to be done in Portmore.
Okay. And in other areas of Kingston,
the 50,000 customers I told you about a while ago, that's in Kingston, St. Andrews, St. Catherine, and St. Thomas.
Okay.
Because that's where you have persons that you can actually just put them back on without having to put in a lot of work because they suffered minor damage. But then you're going to find, even in those those parishes where there was minimal damage, you're still going to find a feeder that has a pole down, a feeder that has a broken wire. And that requires more work than just flipping back a fuse and putting and closing it. So even in Kingston, St. Andrews, St. Thomas, and St. Catherine, you're still going to find people who will take a little longer. I mean, maybe by early next week. But these parishes are going to be the first set of parishes to go back on the grid, and then we're going to focus on those where we have absolutely 100% outage.
Okay. I got this message last night from a mother in distress. She says, please, I'm asking you a favor. I am now living in Patrick City, and from Monday the light went, it came back, but the road I'm living on has no light. I've reported, but each time they keep telling me a technician is out for it to be fixed. Can you please reach out to them for me? I have a baby and the mosquitoes are having a feast with her. Plus I need to go to work. I have to get my uniforms in order. I work at the hospital. Please, I'm begging. It's Appleton Avenue in Patrick City.
I hear you, Nora. But I still need my customers to remember, Nora. And I don't know if I'm strange, but the minute I think of a hurricane that's coming, I think of the fact that I'm going to be uncomfortable, I'm going to be inconvenienced, I'm going to have a period of probably losing all the food that I have, I'm going to X, I'm going to Y. I'm expecting certain kinds of conditions that I'm going to be living under, which are not going to be what I'm used to. And if I make it out alive, that's the first thing that I'm going to be thankful for. But you're going to experience things. You're not going to be ironing your clothes. You're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to do that. It is going to happen. It's a natural part of what happens after a situation like this. And what makes it even worse for this particular one, this was a Category 5. We've never had one like that before. So yes, we may feel uncomfortable, but it is going to be a part of what is going to happen, because there's no guarantee that the light is going to return to your community immediately after. The fact that there's power somewhere else and she's in that particular location without power on her street, it means that there's damage on that street. There's damage on that feeder. It might not be on the street where she can come out and stand at the gate and look and see. It means that, but there's damage somewhere on that feeder, which we're now going to have to go back with a work crew to attend to it. But the thing is, we are on it. We're going to put as many customers back on the grid as soon as possible. And our president is not, he's on it. He's leading the charge, and he's saying as many people as possible need to come on every single day. So everybody's going to get back on the grid, but it's going to take time. And I just want people to have patience. If you have your baby and your baby's, there's a mosquito thing going on, I would suggest maybe going and purchasing one of those, what you call those solar fans, or one of those fans that you can go somewhere and charge. One of the things I've done is to put a charger down at my Ruthven Road office, because I went down there and I see people coming to beg a charge on their phone. So I put a charger down there, a charging station, that they can come and charge their phones. So you come and charge the fan, and you can go home with the fan so you can blow off the mosquitoes. But we're going to have to find creative and innovative ways to function, because there's going to be a period of inconvenience. And I know nobody wants to be last. Nobody wants to be last in anything in this life, but Nora, somebody's going to be last. There's going to be a person or a street or an avenue that is going to be the last to get back power in Kingston. It's not that we have anything against you, but it's going to depend on the amount of work that needs to be done to get everybody in.
Thank you so much for that, Ruthlyn. During the recovery efforts, hurricane Beryl. I don't even know what Beryl was, but the JPS did very well at communicating the areas in which they would be going next or today or over the period. And I understand that there is greater devastation with this hurricane. But is there any intention to
do
that?
Yes, it's going to happen. But we first need to totally complete damage assessment. So we're still in damage assessment mode, you know.
Okay.
But the planning is happening, and soon, I'm sure that maybe by Monday we'll start sending out those lists that will tell you where we're going on which day. So right now we're kind of doing some restoration along with the damage assessment, and that's why I tell you we're doing those areas that we can bring on quickly. So we're bringing those on while we do that damage assessment. But as soon as we complete damage assessment, which probably will be completed nearly today, we'll be able to put the communities on that list, and then we can start announcing the list. So we'll soon hear that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
And on that note, by the way, please, there's some fake things floating around. We have not sent any schedule out there to tell anybody when they'll get back power. I know there's a schedule out there. It is not real. It's fake. I've gotten people calling me with anxiety. Oh, my community is November 20. Why am I so far down? We have not sent a list out there. It's not real.
Thank you so much for that, Ruthlyn. We're up on another break. When we come back from the break, I just want to give you the opportunity to impress upon people again the safety precautions that they need to be taking at this time. And it will get to a point where a week has passed and you're still without electricity, what they should not be doing to try to restore the electricity themselves after the break.
Okay.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
9:46.
This is a public service announcement from JPS. The JPS Customer Care Center, which is technically supported in Western Jamaica, is unavailable due to infrastructural damage. This means customers will not be able to get through on the toll-free line. Customers can, however, make contact with the company via web chat on its website at jpsco.com, on its social media pages at MyJPS Online, and through the MyJPS mobile app. JPS thanks you for your patience and understanding at this time. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
Good day, Jamaica. I am Velma Ricketts Walker, CEO and Commissioner of the Jamaica Customs Agency. My fellow Jamaicans, in the wake of the devastating impact of Hurricane Melissa, the Jamaica Customs Agency stands resolute in our commitment to Jamaica's recovery. We understand that every moment counts during this critical time. That's why our dedicated team stands ready in full force to ensure the swift and efficient clearance of imports, especially those vital to our national relief and recovery efforts. We stand with you, we pray with you, and we know that as a proud and resilient people, Jamaica will rise stronger than ever. Together, we will rebuild, restore, and renew. The Jamaica Customs Agency remains steadfast in protecting our borders and facilitating trade as we walk this road to recovery, hand in hand, one people, one nation.
That was a message from Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self. This is a public service announcement from JN Group. The JN Group is advising that the following JN Bank branches will be opened today, Friday, October 31. Barbican, Duke Street, downtown Kingston, Halfway Tree Transport Center, Highgate, New Kingston, Spanish Town, UWI, JN Premier on Belmont Road, Knutsford Boulevard, New Kingston, Tivoli, Spanish Town Road, Sovereign on the Boulevard, Papine, Morant Bay, Port Antonio, and Mandeville. Service at locations may be limited based on the availability of staff. However, persons may continue to access cash and conduct transactions at most JN Bank and Multilink ATMs and use the JN Bank Live online banking platform, JN Fund Managers Online, and JN Money Online for transactions. The JN Group will shortly roll out its support program for members to aid in their recovery. Jamaica National wishes a speedy recovery for those affected by the hurricane. We will help you find a way. That was a public service announcement from JN Bank. Good morning, good morning. You are back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. We have on the phone lines with us Ruthlyn Johnson, Customer Service Area Manager for the East at JPS. Ruthlyn gave us some numbers earlier where restoration is concerned, and I see we are standing by for a special press briefing on Hurricane Melissa recovery from the Office of the Prime Minister due to begin at 10. So I'm sure further updates will come during that press briefing from Minister Darrell Vaz, who is the Minister of Energy, Telecoms and Transport. But in the meantime, while we continue the program here, Ruthlyn, as the recovery efforts continue, I did say before the break that a week or more will pass and some persons will be without electricity. And as we saw during the recovery efforts after burial, there were some unscrupulous persons going around pretending to be from JPS, charging people to restore, quote unquote, their electricity. Some persons stoning JPS workers, trying to do the work themselves. I just want you to use this opportunity, Ruthlyn, to impress upon people what they should not be doing at this time where restoration of electricity is concerned.
Thank you, Nora. So we really need to just remind ourselves that we're in an unusual time. Things are not going to go the way we want them to. Things are not going to go as expected. We're in a time of inconvenience and time of lack of things that make us happy. But we just need to stand together and pull together. And we need to do this because we need to keep ourselves safe, right? So, for example, persons who decide to be unscrupulous and they're going around and pretending to be JPS employees and asking you for money to do a connection, and because you are desperate, because you've not had power for a week, you pay them that money, and then they don't know anything about electricity, or maybe they do, but not enough, and they turn your power on. And I've seen the result of that in some cases. I remember one lady running out of her house to tell us that everything in her house mashed up. But the guys just came and did it. We realized that the people that connected her were not people who had anything to do with JPS. And so they connected her, took her money, and destroyed everything in her house. Please do make sure that the persons who are, JPS employees, let me first say this, will not ask you for money. So if somebody's asking you for money, clearly they're not JPS employees. Because we don't ask for money to restore you. It is our duty to restore your power supply. So please avoid all those persons who are trying to extort you. They will also leave wires on the ground or they energize wires and then put other people at risk. I remember a wire that we had seen running around on social media where dogs were being killed and stuff, but that wire was not energized by JPS. So we're asking you to avoid those. Don't try to energize yourself as well. to put up anything because the electricity came at the road next to you or across from you, and so you decide to connect your wire to it to get power in your house, please do not take these kinds of actions because you're only putting yourself at risk. Avoid at all costs. I'm also encouraging persons not to test the line.
But before you move on, you move on from that, Ruth Lynn, is there any way that persons can identify? I know not all persons
have their IDs.
All persons who, even those who are contracted outside.
And the contractors have IDs for the companies that they work for. So they should be able to show you an ID for the company they work for.
I'm just thinking, though, how they can be sure that even though that person is an outside contractor, that they were sent by JPS. If there is any way to be sure of that.
He should have his ID. If he's from Johnson & Johnson's electrical company, he should have an ID that shows that he works there.
Okay.
Because the person who is going to come and connect you illegally, who is a unscrupulous person, he's most likely not going to have any ID that says he works anywhere. But the key point is, if somebody asks you for money, that's it, Nora. Anybody who's asking you for money for restoration, even if it's a GPS person, you should not be having any kind of interaction with that person. You should be reporting them.
Okay. And what's the avenue to report those things?
Well, right at this point in time, our call center line is down, but you can send an email to call JPS at jpsco.com. And if persons are still connected to their social media platforms, they can always send something to us on any of our platforms. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok at MyJPS Online.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You can continue.
All right. So I just wanted to continue a little bit more on the matter of safety. I want persons to avoid the downed lines and the downed poles. In fact, I see people walking up and down in water all over the place, and there's a pole lying down with wires in there, and I'm really concerned that they're so comfortable to walk in that water. You don't know if the line that is lying down in there is live. It could be. I mean, most likely it's not, but I would say don't venture into water where you see poles lying down in those pools of water. I also want to remind us about the generators. I know of a situation 2 days ago, Nora, where somebody, there was a fire in their house because the generator was in the house, locked up inside the house. Generators, I've always said, should not be locked up in your house. They should be out in a space where they have ventilation, because after a while it's going to start smoking and carrying on. And remember that it carries a gas that you won't see. You will only feel it. And when you feel it, you will not be here to tell anybody about it. So get them placed in the correct locations and get them connected properly, because our guys are now going to be on the line doing their work. And we don't want any solar panels or any generator to send electricity back onto the lines that should be dead. And somebody's working on it, and then you find yourself, in a situation where we've caused hurt to a lineman who is on the line working. Those are some of the safety tips that I want our persons to remember. And just generally, we are in a rough time. People, brace ourselves we're going to have a few weeks of stress. We know this. Brace yourself for it. And if we are kind to each other, this morning I heard somebody on a radio station calling on everybody to help one other person. And if we decide to live like that, where each one of us will help somebody, if you have power, you can give a charge to somebody, right? If you have power, you can give a tray of ice to somebody. If you have power, you can give somebody a glass of cool water to drink. Each one of us help the other one, because we're in a time when we're gonna have a lot of inconvenience and a lot of discomfort. So let's just stand together. Jamaicans are resilient people that we know. Nothing really keeps us down, We're gonna bouncing back in another few months, and people are going to wonder if we're really at a Category 5 pass by here. But for right now, during this period, let's just hold on to each other, pull each other up, be strong, and not be unkind, making those unkind comments about why this one gets power and me don't get yet. Let's avoid those and just allow us to do the work in a structured fashion. As I always said, there's a restoration protocol, all clear, damage assessment, critical services like morgues, hospitals, airports, telecommunications. Then we go to the large chunk of lines that have lots of customers on it. Then we go to the smaller chunk of lines that has fewer customers on it. And then we go to the single home or the single person who's without, because maybe their service wire was damaged or so. but it's a structured way in which we do it. We're asking you to bear with us. Be patient. We're going to get everybody on the grid. And let's remember the people in the West. They have suffered badly. We're still doing well in the East. They have suffered badly. Let's pray for them or help them if we can, and just all band together, because this is a time when we need to support each other more than any other time.
All right. Thank you so much, Ruthlyn. Thank you.
Thank you
All
so
the
much.
best to you and the team. Please be safe as you guys go out and get some rest as best as you can.
Yes. That's a word that will happen at some point.
All right. Thank you so much, Ruthie.
All right. Take care, Nora.
You too.
And
That
keep
wa-
doing what you're doing. I realize you're finding people and connecting people.
Yes,
That's great.
we're trying our best
Yes.
to. Yes.
All right. Take care.
Yeah, man. You too. That was Ruthlyn Johnson, Customer Service Area Manager for the East. And just before we go, just got this message. Apparently, there is someone, once again, some unscrupulous person pretending to be able to connect people with their family in Westmoreland. He cannot, and I don't know what his intention is. But the number, if this number is trying to reach out to you to help for Westmoreland, do not engage. 431-3757, 431-3757. This number is not actually helping people. The contact number on WhatsApp says James. 431-3757 is pretending to be able to help people from Westmoreland get in contact with their family. He cannot assist. Do not engage. That's all the time we have this morning for the Consumer Hour. It's 10 o'clock and we're making way for Cliff Hughes Online, also standing by for a special press briefing.